Like you have to be willing to sort of investigate your whole process, and or be due to the consequences that you have witnessed in whatever,
Hmm. And they
whatever
finally
way.
become real to you.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like so much of wisdom is what is real to you. This is kind of Vervaeke, my Vervaeke influence too. But
Hmm.
yeah, and maybe Buddhism too. It's, I mean, isn't a lot of Buddhist like you're trying to make real to your mind what is really real rather than the illusions. Isn't that kind of at a core of Buddhism?
Yeah.
Realize what
Yeah.
is
I would
what your mind
say,
really is like.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. Realize the true nature of your mind and how it works. Um, as you get deeper into Buddhist ontology, like their way of understanding the world, it gets more complicated, and
Hmm.
it's worded so differently from the psychological, narcissistic, whatever stuff that however you would word the stuff
Hmm.
we've been talking about, that they don't quite map one onto the other,
Hmm.
because in Buddhism, like there is this sense of like self kind of doesn't exist, others
Hmm.
kind of don't exist, and that would imply within our earlier discussion, that's how I was describing the narcissists. Oh, they don't really exist. Other people don't
Hmm.
exist
Yeah,
for
I
them.
was actually
So,
thinking that when you were saying that.
so we have the trouble of trying to put things into words, and words never being, they don't ever actually capture the whole idea.
Mm.
They can be turned against each other. But in how would I talk about that
Could I offer
in Buddhism?
something?
I'm not sure. Yeah, please. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was just thinking, I mean, in terms of the narcissist thinking, like not kind of having a very good theory of mind of others, it's just seeing others not as their own mind, like me, but as just sort of that which feeds me or doesn't, which, you're gone. But I was thinking, I mean, Buddhism still acknowledges there is conscious experience, and isn't that a lot of what meditation is about and everything? And I would think the narcissist, if they could grow, they could realize others are like me. They are a consciousness. They experience stuff and they experience pain. And I know what pain is like, and I don't want to and hope, and I don't want to do that to others. So I would think that'd be something like what a trying to meld that picture of narcissism and something general about Buddhism together, and narcissistic growth from narcissism maybe.
Yeah, no, I think I would agree with that in any case. I was going to say I think you're spot on, but I feel
Yeah, we don't
unqualified
want
to maybe say that.
to.
But I would agree with you. Within my own view, I think you make a good point of like, um, there is the reality of other people's experience that's
Yeah.
happening, and if you are not in touch with that, then that's ignorance. You are
Yeah.
ignorant of, and that's like the core Buddhist. I don't want to call it sin, maybe, but that's the core issue in Buddhism is ignorance. Ignorance, greed, and anger, I think, are kind of the three poisons, but ignorance is kind of the most underlying one of them. And
Mm.
just that you're not aware of something that's happening, and
Yeah.
it's happening, and so that causes dukkha, that causes the friction, the suffering, because it's
Wow.
happening, and you're acting like it's not happening
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's
you
great.
know so
Yeah.
narcissism in that case is not only is there nothing really going on over there other than are they feeding me or not, but there's nothing inside that is actually healthy in and of itself. Like I only
Mm.
exist when I'm being fed, and if I'm not being fed the right way, I don't exist, and that makes me angry.
Mm.
So like the external doesn't exist as anything real, and the internal kind of doesn't exist as anything real other than the reflection that you are getting from other people. Like that's the
Mm.
only thing that's really real for you is how other people see you, and then you do everything you can to make sure that you're seen in as positive a light, or you're
Yeah.
reflected as positively as you can be,
Yeah.
due to that sort of ignorance of self and ignorance of other.
Yeah. Yeah. The ignorance of the state of others or whatnot. And I also think it gets back to the image of the myth in that Narcissus is not in love, with the person who presumably is behind the image. It is not knowledgeable, it is ignorance, and it is this superficial beauty, which makes me think of the sort of narcissistic persons looking for this external validation. It's this very superficial kind of thing, maybe at one and it's a little bit like maybe what a dictator wants, having only yes men around him. Like, it, and dictators are intelligent people. They know that they can think through like, wait a second, these people are kind of doing this because they just don't want to be killed and they have their own agenda and stuff. But, so, and that brings back the insecurity. But yeah, it's this. Yeah, it seems like when we think of narcissism and, some opposite of that, we get one contrast is knowledge, is
Hmm.
the ignorance of narcissism, of the interiority or the reality, etc., the suffering of others, uh, and on the other hand, the knowledge that I have that I don't know what the nature of others' minds are and everything, but I know they're like me. They can suffer. They can have happiness. We can have togetherness if there's a give and take of my needs, who I am, my expression, and theirs, and then we can kind of, I don't know if this is a good starting point, and then you can kind of take off from there, from isolated selves to some kind of good community.
Please like and subscribe for more of our open-minded content, and comment below on your thoughts or questions about the story. Let us know if you'd like us to cover another stimulating story, and thank you for participating.